Hello, people. This is Chess with Pawns, new YouTube channel of me, myself, playing chess. It's one of those hobbies that I've enjoyed my whole life, ever since I learned as a kid. It's always evolved into being able to play it on your desktop, your phone. Back in the day, you had to have somebody with you to play chess on a board. But now we can play it all the time. And, chess is just something lately that has grown a lot. Everybody's playing it, thanks to chess.com. So I wanted to kind of share my hobby on YouTube. That's another thing that I am kind of new at is YouTube in general. So hopefully as this channel goes on, the better these videos get, the different content that comes out, different ideas. But for now, I'm just going to show games of me trying to get to 1,000 ELO. That's a high mark for me is 1,000. I have a few openings in my arsenal that I use, mainly the London, the King's Indian, the Karo Khan, and I'll talk about those things. I think as I go throughout this, I'm going to learn different openings and lines to help share with you guys and to help get a little bit better. So, without further ado, we'll just start some games, and I'll talk about what I'm doing in my thought process as we're playing the games, whether they're right or wrong. Because I am not the best chess player, but I tend to get better. Alright, so we're black pieces here. So it looks like they are trying. I like doing the Scandinavian a lot. If they take it. So they didn't take it, took the queen, and they pull their queen out early. People say punish the queen when it gets pulled out early, which is great, but it's hard for me to figure out how to punish it. So I'm going to pull the horse out to maybe get my bishop up, get this queen moving around as I'm. Okay, they move the pawn forward, attacking my horse, so they're punishing me now. Now this pawn is open. Really don't want to have to move this guy back, but it looks like that's one of my only options. See, if I put pressure on the queen, see what happens here. And maybe I can move my rook after, and then that's what they do. So we can't do much there. I can't really defend my bishop. I think my rook is going down. But I want my bishop. My knight is going away. We'll take it with that pawn. Alright, so that bishop's defended. We'll just keep going with an opening here. Develop my pieces. Trying to own the center of the board. We'll get this bishop here. I lost my horse. I blundered early. But you gotta fight back from that. Alright, so checks, captures, and attacks. I got a doubled up pawn right here, which is not very good. If I move this pawn up, it blocks my bishop, but my queen is blocked, which sucks too. We're just gonna castle. What do they gotta do? So I have a lot of development going on. Them not so much. So that's one thing that's going good for us. I'm gonna put this castle right here, try to trick my opponent. Then I'm gonna move my bishop and then pin the queen to the king. And they They saw it. Of course they did. Can't get that lucky. I'm still going to try to pin that queen. Or maybe they don't notice the rook is hitting the queen right now. So they're probably not going to move the horse. Okay, so they move their queen over to d3. And they are looking here. And they're looking here. Alright, what to do? I got my castle here. So if I take horse, bishop takes, but they can't because they're pinned with the castle. So if I take here, they're taking here, or they can take with the queen. Okay. I think I want to move my pawn up so I can get my queen out. But in order to do that, I need to support it. Okay, so they castle. I'm going to try to create some pawn structure here without trying to block in my bishop. So let's move him back. Honestly, I should have just, no, because the queen would have took my bishop if I would have took that horse with my bishop. Trying to create some pawn structure at the same time, trying to get my queen into the game at some point here. Alright. So let's get the queen into the game. I think if I move, I want to move my pawn here, but then the bishop will take, and then I can take, and then he will take, right? So I'll be down a pawn. No, then I can take with my queen, and then I can open up the king. I like that. Let's try that. Let's see what happens here. He may not take at all and just advance his pawn. Okay, I'm going to take with my bishop. Good. Alright, cool plan. It worked out for us. Next, I'm going to put pressure on this queen. I think right here. Once I move that bishop, he's probably going to steal my rook. Trade in my rook. I need to get my knight into the game somehow. Let's see, I move here. Then I can move here. Then I can move up here. Let's do that. Let's get this knight going. Alright, so the queen doubled up with the castle is never good. But he's not going to trade anything for a queen. But he is threatening my queen. Okay, do I have any checks? I don't see any. Do I have any captures? I see none. So I'm going to figure out an attack. So what I need to do is get my queen out of danger. So I can go here. I can go here. Which that pins the bishop to the king, which I kind of like. But then the pawn can just come right down. If he does that, then I can go here. Okay, let's do this. Queen to g4. See what he does now. Yep, brought the pawn down. Okay. So if I take the pawn, the bishop will take the queen, so we do not want that. But then I said I can move my queen here. So I can go here or here. Which one's better? If I go here to h5, then I have kind of the queen and the bishop on that pawn. So I kind of like that idea. I gotta watch my time. My opponent has half the amount of time as I do. I am thinking way too hard sometimes. That's probably one of my issues. Okay, so he is probably going to go after my pawn if I move my bishop. If I had to guess. My d5 pawn. Okay, so I do have a capture right here. And then he'll take with the bishop. And then I'll take with the queen. But I kind of want pawn structure. But I can just take it with my horse, right? Let's not have to worry about that. Let's do this. See what happens. Oh. But then you get to just trade my queens. Which I don't like that idea either. So I can take his queen. And he'll take with probably the rook. Or I can move this down. Let's do this. Okay. So I'm going to go with the plan of taking the pawn. I don't see why I can't do it. So it's done. Boom. He's going to take with the bishop. And then I have to take with the queen. Now his knight is protected here. Okay. That was a quick move. So I'm still down +1 on material. I'm going to move my queen back to somewhat safety here. We're just trying to make a comeback here. Remember, I lost the horse in the beginning of the game. There's no bueno. If I move this horse, it's going to threaten the queen, so he can't take my castle. Oh, he can because he puts me in check. Son of a gun. Queen is still being threatened, though. Okay. But if I go... No, that doesn't work. If I go here... I want to put him in check, but... Can't do that. Can I put him in check with the horse somewhere? I could. If I put him in check... If I go here, check... Queen won't take... Queen can't take because that horse is protecting. God dang it. How about we do... Protect the queen. We need the queen still. Again, okay, so I'm going to take this because it's going to force him to move his horse here, which that horse is giving me a lot of issues earlier. Okay, then I'm going to bring this queen back out to here. So he's just up a knight. What I'm going to do is try to check the king next move depending on what they do. Okay, they move the knight back. Of course they do. We're going to start pushing these pawns. Putting some pressure on this king side. I'm running low on time, so I got to move faster here. Okay. So this knight can go here. Does nothing. So I'm not really worried about that knight. So now I can put my opponent's king in check, which I like. Checks, captures, attacks. Okay. Now in order to use my queen to take this pawn, oh, I can do that, but you'll just take my queen. Let's move this one back. Go here. You'll take with the knights. Okay, we're going to go back here. Okay. Moving up my pawns. He's going to take this pawn. I'm running low on time. He didn't take it, so I'm going to go up here. You got to move faster here. You got my queen. I'm going to lose on time. Let's give him the opportunity to checkmate me. Check. And there it is. I lose on time. Good game. Let's see. That brings my ELO down to 955. Obviously, I'm recording this and talking through my moves, which I'm not used to. I lost track of time, and that's fine. I made a blunder right away. Does not help the cause. So we'll see what he has to say about it. Yeah, I was just losing the whole way through. But right here, I think it looks like I had an opportunity. Let's find out what that was. Okay, that was a bad move, doing that. Yep. And they found it. Okay, that was a bad move by them. They could have won a pawn right here. Alright, so this was a blunder. So you're able to win a knight through a fork. So show the fork. Oh, yeah, then I could take one of these knights. And then I would have been winning there. So I missed the fork. I had 55 seconds left, so this is when I was rushing. Obviously I missed it, and then I made this terrible move. And then that's a bad move because they could just take the pawn, but they didn't. And then that was a blunder because of my queen. Yeah. So I'm going to be more thoughtful of my time as I'm doing this. I won't play every game on recording. Obviously, I love playing chess. I'm going to play it on my phone too, here and there. But this was fun. But that's it. That's what this is going to look like. As different ideas come up in my head about what I can do with this channel, I will do it. Whatever you guys think you guys want to see, or ideas from you about what openings to learn, what to put into my openings, middle game, end game, different tactics I can learn or that you guys want to learn. I can share that with you. But this was Chess with Pawns. Have a good day.